Welcome to the practice of Yoga Nidra. Yoga Nidra is a systematic relaxation practice with a number of stages that help to support a person to go deep into a state of relaxation. As we work through the practice, you want to just remain open to the instructions as they come, not worrying too much or working too hard, but just seeing if we can let the body and the mind rest, held in the space of this practice. So to begin with, finding a comfortable position. So coming down to lying Shavasana, if that's appropriate for you. You might have a little bit of space between the legs, a little bit of space between the feet, letting the feet just roll out to the side perhaps a little bit. Ideally, we have the arms resting beside the body with the palms facing up, and the same thing, a little bit of space, so it feels like the body is comfortable, easy. Checking the shoulders are relaxed, checking the back of the neck is long, making those little adjustments so that you can remain as still as possible throughout the practice today. So you might notice if the body feels symmetrical and balanced, and just make any tweaks if it doesn't. And if there's any discomfort in the lower back at all, you might choose to bend the knees and have the soles of the feet resting on the floor, knees dropping in towards each other, resting lightly against each other. You might choose to use some props in your practice today. That might be a cushion under the head, a cushion or bolsters under the back of the knees, blankets over the top of you, or an eye pillow are all good options. So just taking that last little bit of time to set yourself up well so that the body can feel really held, and you can just work through the relaxation practice stage by stage. So once your body is set up in that position, you're going to just notice the points of contact between the body and the floor, starting down at the feet, maybe with the heels or the soles of the feet. Feeling those points of contact, that sense of the weight of the body resting onto the floor, working your way up through the legs, if they're in contact with the floor, or moving directly to the hips and the buttocks, that sense of the weight dropping down. Feeling the contact between the spine and the back and the floor, the sense of the shoulders just gently releasing down towards the floor. Backs of the hands nice and heavy on the floor. And the back of the head resting down. Feeling that whole plane of contact between the floor and the body. That point of connection between floor and the body. As we work through the stages of Yoga Nidra today, knowing that we're going to keep a relaxed attention, and if the mind is to drift off into other thoughts or you drift towards sleep, knowing that's okay. As soon as you notice, you're going to come back to my voice and the guidance of the Yoga Nidra. But ideally, we're aiming to stay alert and awake throughout the practice. So perhaps just thinking to yourself, I'm going to stay alert and awake throughout today's practice. From here, we're going to start by setting ourselves a short intention or a sankalpa. This is often stated as a short statement in the positive and in the present tense. You might use something as simple as, I am relaxed. So taking a moment to think about that if you haven't already got a sankalpa in mind. And then you're going to take your attention to the space in the middle of the chest. Feeling the breath moving here, feeling that sense of the chest lifting and releasing with each breath. Seeing if you can be aware of any energetic sense of the heart space or any emotions that are held around the heart space. If you can't think of a sankalpa or an intention that you want to work with today, just staying with that sense of working into that space of the heart and just knowing that at some point a sankalpa may emerge from that space. So if you want to, either just holding the attention in the center of the chest, or if you're working with your sankalpa, repeating it to yourself 3 times now with a sense of conviction. At the end of the 3 repetitions, simply letting it go, letting it disappear back from that space it arose from. In the next section of the practice, we're going to rotate the awareness around the body. As we go through this sequence, you may just repeat the names of the body parts to yourself. You may take your attention there, trying not to move the body. Or optionally, if you want to, you might visualize those parts of the body in the mind. So starting with the right hand thumb, the first finger, the second finger, the ring finger and the little finger, the back of the right hand and the palm of the right hand, the wrist, the lower arm, the elbow, the upper arm, the shoulder, the armpit, the right side of the body, the right waistline, the right hip, the right thigh, the knee, the lower leg, the ankle, sole of the right foot, top of the right foot, the big toe, the second toe, the third toe, the fourth toe and the little toe of the right foot. Feeling that trace of awareness all the way from the fingertips, all the way down the right side of the body to the tips of the toes. And then shifting the attention to the left side of the body. Left thumb, the first finger, the second finger, the ring finger and the little finger. The back of the hand, the palm, the wrist, the lower arm, the elbow, the upper arm, the shoulder, the left armpit, the left side of the body, the left waist, the hip, the thigh, the left knee, the lower leg, the ankle, the top of the foot, the left sole of the foot, the left big toe, the second toe, the third toe, the fourth toe, and the little toe. Feeling that shining sense of awareness all the way from the left toes up the left side of the body to the left fingertips. Whole of that left side of the body awake and aware. Taking the attention to the right heel and the left heel, to the right calf muscle and the left calf muscle, the back of the right knee, the back of the left knee, back of the right thigh, back of the left thigh, the right buttock and the left buttock. Tracing that attention all the way up through the spine, through the lower back, the middle back, and the upper back and shoulders. Noticing the back of the head, awareness to the crown of the head, the top of the head, awareness of the forehead, the right eyebrow and the left eyebrow, and the space between the eyebrows, the right eye and the left eye, the bridge of the nose, the right nostril and the left nostril, the upper lip and the lower lip, and perhaps the space between the lips. Becoming aware of the right jaw and the left jaw, the right ear and the left ear. Tracing that awareness to the neck, down into the right collarbone and the left collarbone, the right ribs and the left ribs. Awareness resting on the belly and awareness on the genitalia. Now becoming aware of the whole of the right leg from heel all the way up to buttock, and the whole of the left leg from heel to buttock, both legs together. Becoming aware of the whole of the right arm, fingertips to shoulder. Becoming aware of the whole of the left arm, shoulder all the way down to fingertips. Trying to hold that awareness of the right and the left arm together. Awareness of the whole of the right side of the body and the whole left of the side of the body. Trying to be aware of the whole of the back of the body and the whole of the front of the body. And then seeing if you can be aware of the whole body, resting on the floor. Still awake and aware, following the practice of Yoga Nidra, awake and aware as we come to the end of the rotation of awareness stage of the practice. So releasing any sense of attention and awareness into the body, and we shift the attention onto the breath. So at first, just noticing the breath coming and going into the body, like a nice rolling wave of the ocean. Breath entering, filling the lungs, chest and belly lifting. Breath releasing, whole body relaxing as the breath rolls back out. So we're not trying to make anything happen, just noticing that full experience of the breath in the body and that rolling wave of breath coming in and breath coming out of the body. Taking the whole of the attention and awareness onto the breath as it moves in and out of the body. From here, we're going to use a simple count to keep the attention on the breath for the next stage of the practice. So starting at the number 21, you're going to count down on each exhalation. So taking a breath in, a breath out, and on each exhalation, counting 21. The next round, breathing in, breathing out, counting back to 20. And you will continue with your breath in your own time. So knowing there's no rush, no particular speed we're working at. We're not trying to force the breath or make anything happen. We're simply watching the breath as it comes in and out of the body, on each exhalation, counting back 1, working our way down from the number 21. If you notice the mind drifts at this point, just return to the practice as soon as you notice the mind has wandered. It doesn't matter if you've lost track of the count. Start again at the number 21 when that happens. And again, systematically counting the breath on each exhalation, counting down 1. So staying alert and awake, very present with this practice of focusing all the attention on the breath as you're counting down with each exhalation, moving from the number 21 back towards 0. And again, if the mind drifts, if the mind wanders, you just coax it back, and it doesn't matter if we have to do that 1 time or 10 times or 100 times. Each time we notice, we return to that practice of breath awareness, noticing the sensation of the breath, and on each exhalation counting back from the number 21 down to 0. Full attention on the breath, allowing it to come and go naturally, allowing that soft, easy count on each exhalation. Continuing with that practice, counting back, starting at 21, working towards 0, each exhalation, taking that step back down towards 0, trying to keep the attention and awareness on the breath. And now from whatever point you're at in that counting practice, in that breath awareness, we're going to release it. So just letting go of any sense of counting, whatever number you've got to, wherever you're at with the practice, you're totally releasing that breath awareness. In the next stage, we're going to imagine certain states of the body, trying to make them as real and distinct and strong for you as you can today. Working with that sensation in the body as clearly as you can, and working with what's called pairs of opposites. So starting with the sensation of being cold, trying to get that sense of the whole body becoming cold. Whole body feels like you've stepped out on a wintry day, feeling that sense of iciness and cold throughout the whole body. Whole body feels icy cold. Whole body, whole body. You're going to keep coming back to that sensation of the whole body being icy cold, feeling that coldness through the whole body, that sense of being somewhere, perhaps that sense of a wintry scene where the whole body feels cold, whole body filled with a sense of cool energy. That coldness fills the whole body. There's that sensation of iciness, of snow, that blasting cold energy of the wind on a winter's day. Whole body filled with that sense of coldness. Whole body nice and cold. So the whole body continues to really feel that sense of coldness, making it as real as you can for you today. Whole body cold. Whole body is filled with a sense of coldness, a chill. Whole of the body feels that sensation as if you were walking somewhere on a winter's day. Whole body cold. Whole body cold. Letting the whole body feel that sensation of cold energy. Coldness from toes all the way up through the body to the top of the head and the tips of the fingers. The whole of the body is feeling cold. Whole of the body feeling that icy cold sensation. And then from there, releasing that sense of the body being cold, letting it go, letting that feeling just disappear back to where it came from. And you're going to imagine that the whole of the body is becoming warm now. Whole of the body starting to feel warm. That sense of the warm rays of sunshine, that feeling of the whole body being warm and energized. Feeling warmth from tips of the toes all the way to the top of the head and out to the fingertips. That sensation as if you were lying on a sun lounger on a nice balmy summer day. The whole of the body is feeling warm now. Feeling that warmth through the whole of the body. Whole of the body feeling that sense of warm energy. Whole of the body filled with that energy of warmth and light. Whole body feeling that warmth, feeling that hot energy. Focusing on the whole body, feeling the sensation of heat. Whole body filled with heat as if you were lying out in the warm sunshine on a summer's day. The whole body is filled with a sense of heat. Whole body filled with heat. Whole body filled with that nice warm heating energy. Whole body. And then once more releasing that, coming back to how the body feels here and now. Practicing Yoga Nidra together, still awake and alert. So this time, getting a sense of the whole body starting to feel heavy. The whole of the body feels as if it was a leaden weight, heavy, dropping down towards the floor. The whole of the body filled with that sensation of heaviness. As if it was a heavy, heavy weight. As if it was almost, it could sink down into the floor. Whole of the body heavy. Whole of the body feels heavy. Whole of the body is filled with this intense sensation of heaviness. Feeling that sensation across the whole of the body becoming heavy, sinking down into the support of the floor. Body is completely heavy. Body is sinking down into the floor with that leaden sense of the whole body being heavy. The whole body feels strongly heavy. Making that sensation as real as you can for yourself right now. Whole body heavy. The whole body sinking down with that sense of heaviness. Whole body heavy, resting down onto the floor. Whole body heavy. And then once again, releasing that sense of the body being heavy, coming back to the natural, easy body as you lie here on the floor, resting in Yoga Nidra. And this time creating a sense of lightness in the body, as if the body was a feather, as if the body could just lift almost slightly off the floor, that the whole of the body is feeling light now. Whole of the body light, lifting sensation throughout the whole of the body. Whole of the body feels light and easy. Whole of the body light. Exploring what that sensation feels like for you. Trying to see if you can make the whole of the body feel light. The body doesn't need to do anything. We're just focusing the mind on the body feeling light, as if it could almost lift up off the floor, that lightness of a feather, that lightness of a gentle silk scarf perhaps. Seeing if you can create that sense of the whole of the body becoming nice and light. Whole of the body is light, whole of the body having that sense of lifting light energy, whole of the body filled with that light sensation, lifting up, feeling easy with a sense of lightness. And then once again, you're going to release that, coming back to how the body actually feels lying here on the floor, resting. Still awake and alert, still practicing Yoga Nidra in that easy, relaxed state. So I want to invite you to use your imagination for this next stage of the practice. We're going to imagine that we're on a beach and it's nighttime. So taking a moment to have that sense of the cool night air, that sensation of the sand or the pebbles underneath your feet. Maybe you could imagine that there's a rustling of palm trees or trees around the beach area. You're stood there and you're feeling relaxed on this beach. In the cool night air, seeing the bright silvery light of the moon and the inky colour of the sky. And perhaps seeing if you can let that sense of the moon's silvery energy, its reflective, cool quality, absorb into you. Imagining that cool silver light of the moon, that gentle breeze, and the sensation of the sand underneath the feet. Perhaps seeing if you can notice or visualize the sea as it gently rolls in and out at its own easy pace. And then starting to imagine that the sun is going to rise up from that distant horizon. So you're going to imagine that just that first sense of light is starting to emerge. The darkness of the night is disappearing. That silver light of the moon starts to settle and disappear into the background. And the very first corners of light, that sense of the orange and the yellow, as the sun starts to peek up from the horizon. It starts to emerge bit by bit. And you're still enjoying that sense of being on the beach, that sound of the ocean, the gentle breeze, But now allowing that feeling of the light as it grows brighter to fill the body with a sense of that new energy at the beginning part of the day, the light and the energy of the sunshine as it rises up. Feeling that sense of the light and energy of the sun filling the whole of the body. There's a sense of joy at witnessing the beginning of the day and that illuminating bright quality of the sun's energy. Feeling that lightness, feeling that brightness, and enjoying the beauty of the sun rising up over that vast ocean, which still rolls in and out in its same gentle way, same gentle rolling waves of the ocean, continuing that sense of the floor being nice and stable underneath you, that nice soft sensation of the sand or the pebbles, the whispering of the wind, perhaps the rustling of some trees. Enjoying this image, trying to see it as clearly as you can today. That sense of the sun rising up, energizing, that sense of new beginnings, new possibilities as the day starts. That brightness, that beauty, appreciating the role the sun plays in energizing our life, filling our plants with the energy they need, helping to illuminate the darkness. Just looking around you for one last glance before we say goodbye to that visualization, seeing the brightness of the sun as it's rising up further in towards the sky. It turns to that golden light from the different colours of the sunrise. And then we leave this visualization, letting it go, not worrying about what happened, just letting it go. Coming back to the sensation of the body, resting on the floor, still alert and awake, practicing Yoga Nidra. Now is the time that we're going to return to trying to get that sensation in the center of the chest, that feeling of the heart space. So just like the ocean waves rolling back and forth, turning the attention to the breath moving up and down, that sensation at the center of the chest. Breath moving in and out of the body. And knowing that that's the space of your intuition, your heart's desire. Either repeating your sankalpa, your intention to yourself 3 times, or just resting into that heart space. As you complete those 3 repetitions, just as we did at the beginning, you let it go. You let the sankalpa disappear back to where it came from, with a sense of that seed being planted to grow in its own time. From here, we return to the sensation of the body, lying here on the floor, supported by the floor. And we're moving towards the end of the practice of Yoga Nidra, but we're going to take just as much time and care to come out of the practice as we did to enter it, and as we did throughout the practice. So taking a few deeper breaths, feeling the breath and the body lying here on the floor. Remembering the room that you've been practicing in, the position of the body, where the windows and doors are, really orientating yourself to the present moment. Any sensation in the body, how that nice full deep breath is coming and going. Noticing the contact with the floor and feeling nice and grounded, that sense of being held by the floor, and that sense that the attention and awareness is returning to the room, that you're moving away from that Yoga Nidra practice, and gradually we're moving towards coming back to that awake and aware state of normal waking life. Taking a few more moments here to really ground the mind, ground the body, all the time becoming more awake and alert, present here and now. And as the body and the mind starts to wake up, breath full and deep, we may begin to take some very gentle movements. So perhaps beginning fingers and toes, taking any nurturing soft movements you feel like you need, coming towards the end of that Yoga Nidra practice and beginning to think about moving out of the practice. Taking a final few breaths, lying here in Yoga Nidra. We've reached the end of the Yoga Nidra practice. Starting to make the movements bigger, yawning or sighing if that feels good for you. Perhaps stretching arms overhead, perhaps bringing knees in towards the chest. In your own time, coming to lie on the side. And from there, when you feel awake and alert enough, coming up to sitting. Taking a few breaths here. And when you're feeling ready, opening the eyes and preparing to move off into the rest of the day. Namaste.